I never thought my spouse would become my worst adversary. Yet here I am, watching Alexander command our opulent living room like a monarch. The glittering chandelier casts shimmering patterns across his impeccably fitted tuxedo as he waves his champagne flute, captivating our relatives with tales of his recent business coup. It was straightforward, really, Alex remarks with that feigned humility that makes my teeth grind. Just spotted a chance others overlooked. The economy tosses these bonuses sometimes. I straighten a linen napkin, my fingertips grazing the rim of the Hermes porcelain. If only they realized how many evenings I devoted to dissecting those economic reports, while Alex slumbered peacefully in our bedroom. How many weeks I invested devising the flawless funding plan he now passes off as his own brilliant intuition. Sophia, dear, my mother-in-law Margaret calls with that cloying sweetness that sets my nerves on edge. The floral arrangement is nice, but next time, choose something more refined. Peonies are so terribly ordinary now. I lock eyes with her and flash a rehearsed grin, the one I've perfected over a decade in this family. Naturally, Margaret, your suggestions are always so welcome. The phrase leaves a sour taste, but I've mastered the art of swallowing resentment with elegant grace. Alex, meanwhile, dives into yet another boastful anecdote, his voice reverberating off the oak-clad walls. I circulate among the visitors like a ghost, refilling drinks and nodding at all the right moments, my silk gown whispering accusations against the hardwood floor. The true brilliance, chimes in Clara, Alex's perpetually smirking sister, is how fortunate you are with Sophia. She offers me what she likely views as a generous beam. I mean, to have a partner who so capably manages all the household trivia while you tackle the crucial tasks. That's so uncommon nowadays. The space goes quiet for a loaded second. I feel the weight of every stare, the entire room anticipating my reaction to this thinly veiled jab. My grip tightens imperceptibly on the crystal wine decanter. A vivid recollection surfaces. Last year's holiday meal, when Alex publicly brushed off my forecast on emerging AI shares. 3 months later, he pitched my precise breakdown to the executive board as his own divine epiphany. I picture myself at that vast table, sitting in mute obedience as he basked in their praise, while I slowly faded into the luxurious wallpaper. She's correct, Alex concurs, lifting his glass in my direction with a hollow ring. I couldn't achieve any of this without my incredibly supportive partner. His smile, as always, fails to reach his gaze, needing a moment to breathe. I retreat towards the kitchen, but as I pass the closed door of his study, I overhear snippets of a hushed exchange that stops me cold. Everything set. It's Lisa's voice, his executive assistant, barely audible. The shift should wrap by, not here. Alex cuts her off abruptly, his tone sharp as a blade. We'll discuss it tomorrow. My pulse hammers a frantic rhythm against my ribs, yet my expression remains a mask of serene composure. In my mind, I envision the concealed flash drive stashed in my private vault, packed with weeks of painstakingly collected proof. Every midnight call, every dubious deal, every clandestine gathering, all logged with the patience of a woman who learned long ago that true payback thrives on surgical precision. I recall the instant 3 months ago when I first unearthed the horrifying truth. The dim, bluish light from my computer screen, illuminating a damning trail of hidden funds snaking their way to offshore havens. The nauseating awareness that my husband's entire commercial kingdom rested on a foundation of deceit and financial trickery. I sat there in my study, palms quivering, as I peeled back veil after veil of his elaborate falsehoods. But now, returning to the gathering with a fresh bottle of wine. My hands are perfectly steady. I observe Alex presiding over his circle of fawning admirers, all of them utterly oblivious to the tempest simmering beneath my calm facade. They perceive only the loyal spouse, the impeccable entertainer, the unobtrusive backer of her husband's apparent talent. They don't suspect that each belittling remark, each patronizing gesture, each pilfered professional achievement has been methodically noted and filed away, like a grandmaster in a game of chess. I've spent years quietly aligning my elements, biding my time for the ideal moment to strike. My eyes meet Alex's across the crowded space, and he toasts me with yet another empty gesture. I return the smile, composed and harmless, while inwardly I begin the final, irrevocable countdown to his collapse. He has no clue what's approaching. None of them do. And that is precisely my design. The cool azure hue of my monitor bathes my dark home office as I examine another batch of illicit dealings. Each tap of the keyboard uncovers another layer of Alex's duplicity, funds wired to obscure tax havens, phantom firms registered in Nevada, all cleverly veiled beneath the cloak of legitimate operations. My digits skim over a folder brimming with printed correspondences and damning financial logs. 90 days of thorough records. 90 days of sleepless hours, while Alex rested soundly, convinced his secrets were secure. The irony stings. He always mocked my fixation on minutiae as a trivial weakness. Now, those very minutiae will seal his fate. I hit play on the newest audio file, and Alex's voice fills the quiet room. Of course, I respect Sophia's views, he states, the condescension oozing from every syllable. She's great at sorting and organizing things, but actual high-stakes fiscal tactics? That demands a certain instinct she'll simply lack. Forever. Lisa's fawning chuckle echoes in the background. She's so fortunate to have your direction. Alex, most partners would be completely lost without it. I stop the clip, my touch unwavering, as I jot another meticulous entry. This represents half a year of such private dialogues, each one carefully dated and transcribed. The collective tapes sketch a vivid, damning portrait of Alex's deliberate, systematic campaign to diminish me while simultaneously exploiting my intellectual labor to enhance his own standing. A soft knock. Mrs. Reynolds? Elena's voice pierces my intense focus. She hovers at the threshold, her typically composed expression edged with quiet worry. I've got those documents you asked for from the hidden accounts. I motion for her to shut the door firmly behind her. Elena's steps echo on the polished flooring as she approaches, laying out a series of printed sheets across my desk. The trends align perfectly with your suspicions. Every major investment victory Alex boasted about, the capital was already pre-positioned, just cleverly rerouted through alternate paths. I lean in. And Lisa's role? Deeply involved? Elena confirms, tapping a specific, damning entry. She's been the one handling the moves, leveraging her position as his senior aide to bypass standard compliance checks. But she's been careless, leaving digital fingerprints all over the transaction logs. As if on cue, my desk phone vibrates. Margaret's name glows on the screen. This time, I pick up. Sophia, sweetheart. Margaret's tone drips with its usual artificial affection. I do hope you're not too busy to attend the charity gala tomorrow evening. Alexander mentioned you've been quite occupied lately. Actually, Margaret, I keep my tone light, almost conversational. I've been delving into some truly intriguing fiscal files recently. I let a deliberate pause hang in the air, including the Foundation's own rather creative offshore holdings. Tell me, were you aware of those when you signed on as chair of the board? A silence lingers for 2 full heartbeats. I'm certain I don't know what you mean, she responds, her voice suddenly tight. Alexander handles all those financial aspects. Yes, I reply, my voice cool. He does indeed. I let the implication hang between us before concluding. I'll see you at the event. Margaret. After disconnecting, I turn back to Elena. The injunction came through this morning, she confirms with a slight smile. Judge Harlan was particularly interested in our evidence of asset diversion. That's the 3rd legal victory this month. I note, minor ones, but they're accumulating. And Alex? Completely oblivious. He's too engrossed in planning his next strategic masterstroke to notice the walls are closing in. I permit myself a faint cold grin. A sharper rap at the door interrupts us. Marcus, my most trusted ally on the board, enters, his usual assured gait hurried by alarm. Sophia, we need to talk. Alex has just scheduled an emergency executive session for tomorrow morning. He's moving faster than we anticipated. I hold his anxious stare steadily, a rock in his storm. Ideal timing, I say, my voice calm. He's plotting something major. Marcus cautions, lowering his voice. I overheard him with Lisa, something about a massive capital shift that needs to happen before the weekend. Let him try, I whisper. I flip open my laptop, rotating it to show them both the screen. Every account, every transaction, every single flaw, exposed right here. Then, I retrieved the small black USB drive that had taken me weeks to physically locate, hidden behind a false back in Alex's desk drawer. And this, care to speculate on its contents? Elena's gaze expands as she scans the directories I reveal. Marcus emits a soft, low whistle. The drive contains a decade's worth of clandestine correspondence, exposing not merely Alex's isolated scams, but the full, intricate web of his accomplices. Board members subtly swayed by precisely timed perks. Regulators persuaded to look the other way. A vast, interconnected net of lies with Alex at its center, each strand now perfectly poised for unraveling. The question now, I state, closing the laptop with deliberate calm, is who else in his inner circle might be hiding comparable secrets? A man like Alex doesn't operate in a vacuum. The ensuing quiet is heavy with unspoken implications. We all know there are more players in this game, more threads to pull, but for now, this is enough. The first domino is perfectly positioned. I dismiss them both with soft thanks, waiting until the echo of their footsteps fades completely before allowing myself to truly feel the immense, terrifying weight of what is to come. Tomorrow, Alexander Reynolds will walk into that boardroom with his typical smug, arrogant stride, never once suspecting that his own wife has already quietly, irrevocably ensured his utter ruin.